Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about having a Gemini Sun and Cancer Venus in a natal chart. Now, first off, having a Gemini Sun, your basic fundamental character, may be adaptable, loquacious, versatile, restless, and animated, and can be superficial even at times. Now, however, with your Venus being in Cancer, you may be more emotional and sensitive in matters of the heart. You may want, a deeper connection, in relationships than the typical Gemini Sun would want. And the thing is, Venus and Cancer may often, want unconditional love, actually. So even though these are adjacent signs, you could have really a big disparity as far as, the basic character being the Sun and, attitudes and how one goes about, matters of the heart in their relationships. Now, the Cancer Sun, again, the basic, self may be superficial, the Sun, but with Venus in Cancer, again, the person may want a deeper connection and the unconditional love being expressed. The person, with this Venus in Cancer may be hurt easily in matters that are pertaining to their relationships and may be more sensitive, even like things like such as sensitive to criticism, even constructive criticism. So there may be more, sensitivity, in as far as the relationships go and matters of the heart in those experiences with those people. And now, if the Sun conjuncts Venus, well, first off, I want to be kind and rewind. I do believe in out-of-sign conjunctions in astrology. There's some astrologers that don't go with this or don't, believe in this, but I believe they are valid and they exist because, take, for example, if somebody has a Gemini Sun at 29 degrees, right, and the Venus in Cancer is at 2 degrees, okay? You have like a 3-degree disparity between the planets. Now, even though the planets are in different signs, there is friction that would exist between them. And I would, for me, that's why I believe that you can have out-of-sign conjunctions in astrology. Now, again, if the Sun conjuncts Venus, there may be that intense drive and motivation, which is the Sun, in doing things that one loves and enjoys, which is Venus. Now, the thing is, let's say, with Venus and Cancer, the things that may be enjoyed may be home, family-related activities. It could be things that are nostalgic or connected with history or cooking, baking. It could be even doing real estate or some Cancerian, type of, money-making venture or endeavor, such as, real estate, home remodeling, renovation, interior decoration, as some examples. Now, also, too, another way, this could also indicate, again, if the Sun conjuncts Venus, there may be, intense love and enjoyment, which is Venus, for doing what the person wants, which is the Sun. Now, with the Sun in Gemini, what the person may often want to do is simply, communicate, disseminate, and assimilate information, express versatility. It may be doing things associated with manual dexterity, such as auto and refrigeration mechanics. It may be doing things associated with short journeys, as some examples. And the thing, about this too is that, again, if the Sun conjuncts Venus, relationships may play an integral role in one's life. Now, I understand that relationships may often be prominent, play an integral role in one's life, regardless of astrological placements and aspects, but it may be more emphasized and accentuated with this aspect as opposed to most others. Now, in those relationships, given, the Venus being in Cancer, it could be with, one or more of those people, and those relationships may actually be a Cancer Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, those that are temperamental, moody, fickle, emotional, sensitive, protective, tenacious, caring, nurturing, dedicated, and devoted. And if the Sun semi-squares Venus, as an example, let's say if you have, let's say if the Gemini, sun is at 0 degrees and Venus is in, Cancer at 15 degrees. You could have a, semi-square aspect, which, can be, a semi-square, semi-square, could be, it's not as intense as a square aspect. It's like a modified version of a square aspect. But I do believe if you have a tight semi-square aspect, it can be at least near as intense as a loose square aspect. So that's how I see it or perceive it anyway. But anyway, if you have the sun semi-squaring Venus, there may be a conflict between activities that are more self-centered and egocentric, which is the sun, and those that are connected with others and relationships, which can include the marriage partner, significant other, romantic connections, and important friendships. And one may clash with the other if you have the semi-square aspect again between the sun and Venus. Now, with the sun coming before Venus, and when I elaborate on it, when I say sun coming before Venus, I mean by sign, position, and degree. I mean, you're talking about, you're talking about, well, in this case, it's the sign, position, because obviously Gemini comes before Cancer astrologically. So, the thing is, the person, matters pertaining to the self may often take priority and precedence over matters that are associated with relationships. So, the sun in Gemini, matters to the self, again, may involve, a lot of communication, doing things with manual dexterity, assimilating, disseminating information, maybe even mimicry in some cases. It could be, doing, activities, multitasking, doing, expressing, their, versatility, basically. And also, too, he or she may bring much of that animated Gemini energy into Cancerian-related things that are enjoyed, which is Venus. And with Venus in Cancer, the person may strongly, enjoy things connected with nostalgia, history. It could even be family games, such as Twister or Family Feud. As some examples, it could be doing things with cooking, baking, even Cancerian, again, endeavors, which can include like home renovation, remodeling, home caregiving, as some examples. And the thing, too, is Gemini Sun, may want to be mobile and take many short trips, but at the same time, with the Cancer Venus, the person may strongly value introversion, home, and family life. The person may actually be enamored with domestic activities, even though, as far as, Gemini Sun, may often want to take short journeys. So you have a little bit, of a balance with that energy as far as, the short journeys and really doing things that are home related. Now, also, too, Gemini Sun, may bring that spirited energy and even dexterity into, Cancerian money-making endeavors, because Venus in the chart can show, it could show, money-making endeavors and ventures. And, with Venus being in Cancer, those things may involve, home improvement, again, home renovation, remodeling. It could be roofing or siding or doing something, associated with real estate. Cooking, again, culinary, restaurant work, home, it could be interior decoration, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.